I'm sorry, but I accidentally started the wrong stream today again. I tried to set up the streams for like the next week or a little bit in advance, so there's a schedule for them. And I did that before, and sometimes I forget when I do that. It comes up as my next stream, and then I started that one instead of actually jumping into today's stream. So if someone is confused that I closed down the stream, it was because it was the wrong one, and if someone didn't find this one, yeah, that was just because I made a mistake there. Hey Nicole, nice to see you. Were you the one? I think there were 2 or 3 people in the other stream, and I was like, oh damn it, like I did it wrong. Were you one of the ones who were there? But at least you found your way back here, so that's nice. How are you today? Did you have a good week so far? So I'm gonna move a little bit closer. I've just been to the osteopath today. It's very interesting. I don't know if you ever been to an osteopath. They like a chiropractor. They will crack your bones and do lots of stuff, adjust like quite harshly. But an osteopath, they will just touch you and just move kind of. He put his hand. I've been to osteopaths before, and I have another one I regularly go to, but yeah, now I visited one here. I wasn't in the other one. How was your week? Yeah, I had a good week. Well, an interesting week, I should say. So anyway, the osteopath, he just put his hand underneath, and he just kind of moves a little bit and makes you push. He would put his fingers in my neck and then just push here kind of, and I could feel just how they created pressure there. And now I have a lot of pain. Like, it was so little movement, but yet I can really feel the muscles kind of cramping and readjusting and then settling in and getting into the new position that they're well, I guess what he tried to do is he tried to adjust the body. Since I have my herniated disc, my neck is just really off. Okay, I tense different sides. My whole body posture is a little bit crooked because of the clinched nerve. So I what do you call that? I parera in Swedish. I protect it by doing certain things. So he was working with that, and it's very nice. I've always enjoyed going to osteopaths, and it's a bit strange because you can't always feel what they're doing. It's just so subtle. But then afterwards, right now, I feel like I have like a cold or a fever coming on. I feel very off. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Hopefully that will help with the sleep, so I'll sleep a little bit better tonight, since I'm in a period of just difficulties with that. But I highly recommend you. If you never tried it, do it. It's an interesting experience. I used to be a receptionist for a cranial osteopath. Oh, yeah. That's the... is that the ones, the cranial, like where they work with liquids flowing in the spine or something? I think I've done something like that before. Was it cranial therapy or something like that? Did you like it, or did you go to it often yourself since you worked there? I find now actually I have a bit of a hard time sitting because my back is just a bit different than it normally is. But what I wanted to get with the osteopath is that it's easy when you're doing spiritual stuff and you're doing what we're doing, and meaning that we're trying to just enjoy being here, no matter what your life story is telling you, learning to just accept life as it is and enjoy your life. This is super powerful treatments in my experience. Oh, that's nice. And the thing is that it's not one or the other. Really, I think it's always such a shame when I see people who kind of neglect their bodies because they're now on the spiritual path. So I don't need to take care of my body. It's not mine. I'm not holding on to it. It's like a defiled piece of equipment that I'm just using because I have to. And so all these impurities, and they have a lot of aversion towards their physical bodies. The problem is, if your body is not feeling good, it's really difficult to be alive. It just makes it so much more difficult. And you don't really understand this until you've been sick and felt really bad. And that goes for the mind also. if you have a body that you don't take care of, that you feed just crap, don't use, don't exercise, don't make sure that it's strong, you smoke, you drink, and you eat like really bad food, it's not gonna work very well, the body. And then the problem with that is that your mind is not going to work very well. You're going to have much more anxiety and problems with like the distortions you have towards the world around you. And it is hard enough as it is. There's absolutely no reason to make it more difficult for you. So at the same time as you're working with yourself, your mind, and your relationship to the world around you, it's a really, really good idea to start taking care of your body, to make sure that your body functions to the best of its ability. That doesn't mean just go like all out and just completely dedicate your life to eating everything like grown in your windows and making everything super, super healthy and only eating organic. It just means that just think a little bit. Like I used to do when I ate chocolate. I was like, okay, I'm not eating. We had this all the time, me and Marlene. Like, we're not going to eat chocolate for a while. And we didn't eat chocolate for a week. Sorry, sugar for a week. Or maybe in 2 weeks. Then on the third week, we'd sit there and like, oh man, tonight we're just gonna have some something sweet, and then we sit down and we watch a movie and we eat some chocolate. Oh god damn it, that's good. Oh this chocolate is so good. Well, now we ate chocolate, so let's just eat the whole bar. I mean, we ate the whole chocolate bar, and then we ate the chocolate bar. Oh man, that was good. You know what? We have some crisps also, right? Yeah, we do have crisps. You want to go get them? Yeah, let's go get them. I mean, we ate the chocolate. What does it matter? Let's just eat crisps as well. And then we ate all the bags of crisps. Maybe not all of it, but like I ate a bag of crisps. So then the problem is we just like go overboard with it. And people tend to go overboard one way or overboard the other way. Either they're going to go like cold turkey, nothing. I'm going to meditate 3 hours per day or 10 hours per day, whatever you want. I'm going to eat only vegan, fruitarian, and just like raw food, and then that lasts for like a few days, because after a few days your willpower, I mean the willpower usually comes from we feel so bad about something that we're motivated, like okay, I feel so bad because I went to the doctor and he said I was unhealthy, or I had a friend who died from some disease and like I want to take care of my body, and that pain causes you to change your life. The problem is that motivation only lasts for so long, and after a while you're going to lose that, and you don't no longer have the motivation to do the meditations, to eat the healthy food, to do the things that you had set out on. So then you don't do anything. So we have this like either everything or nothing mentality. It's very common for many people to do it that way, which is not a healthy way to do it, and it's not a very sustainable way to do it. When I work with people and help them establish a meditation routine, one of the things we work really hard with is to make sure that people don't overdo it. Meaning that when they start meditating, that we actually have a schedule and we just limit it to, say, 20 minutes per day. It doesn't need to be 20 minutes 4 times per day, or 1 hour twice or thrice per day. I mean, you can work up towards that, but for most people, that's just completely unrealistic. If you have a family, it's like believing in Santa Claus. It's just not going to happen if you have small kids. So having something that's realistic and something that's doable for you is very important. And that goes to, like we were talking about, what you eat and how you take care of your body, but also when it comes to your spiritual practice. Meditating every day is really useful, very good for your mental health and physical well-being, because it relaxes the body, but you need to do it on a level that you can actually sustain. It's something that you can keep on doing. And if you do that, and at the same time you work out a little bit, or maybe you just take walks every day. Everyone can take a walk, like most people can. Even in your apartment, you can take a walk. You can take a walk while you're on the phone, or while you're listening to a podcast, or like there's lots of things you can do at the same time. So being aware of the limits of your time and of your motivation, and doing something that you can do long term is simply the way to go if you want to continue with the practice. And don't just make it the mental part, also make it your physical body and your life in general. Like getting your financial situation in control is, I mean, just try living without money when you have bills that need to be paid. It is very difficult, and it causes a lot of stress. Even though you don't believe in the concept of money, or even though you think everything is energy and it doesn't matter. In the end, bills need to be paid, and if you don't pay them, you lose your home, your house. You can't get food. You're going to have to find other ways of sustaining yourself. So I think we need to have a more holistic approach. Hey, Stephen. Holistic approach to practice is not just about the meditation. It's not just about introspection, about analyzing your thoughts or analyzing your feelings. You're going through all these deep things. You also need to make sure you have a life and a body and like things around you that function and that are sustaining you, so that you can continue living a healthy life, a happy life. Because life, when there's just struggle and grief and misery and everything is difficult, it's more difficult to enjoy yourself, for sure. I wish it was as easy as that all the time, but it isn't. So there's no reason to make life more difficult for yourself than it needs to be. So just because you choose one thing doesn't mean that you need to give everything of the other thing up, which many people do when they become spiritual. It's also important to see that many things can be good and bad at the same time. You can have some things that are super useful, but at the same time really, really suck. Because we want to make things very clear. We want to say like, okay, this is good and this is bad. And we want to see it as like very black and white. I've been listening to a lot of videos about cults lately, about people who use and abuse other people in the name of spirituality or in the name of some kind of religion, and how they manipulate people into doing things that they don't want to do, but they're in such weird, strange environments and situations that people just do stuff they would never do otherwise, but they're manipulated into doing that. And the strange thing is that if you listen to what they say, there's always a grain of truth or something in there that's actually good, and people come with that good thing to begin with. Usually they lure them in with something like, oh, this sounds amazing. I want to be part of this group. I want this good stuff also that they have. And you listen to that and you follow that, but then that leads to something else that is bad, and it's very confusing for the mind, because we start with, this is obviously good, like I like this, so then that means this other thing they're doing has to be good also, like since that thing is good. And it's difficult for the mind to understand that things can be both good and bad at the same time. So money would be another thing like that. Money is good and bad at the same time. It's actually neither. It depends on what you use it for. But it can be used for good and it be used for bad things. It's up to what you do with it. So being able to see the what do you call it, dichotomy, is that it? The polarity, that it can have two different sides, is very useful to do when you're doing practice, because all the things we do, it's not that it's bad to eat chocolate. Eating chocolate is actually very good because you feel good. I mean, I love chocolate. I eat chocolate every day. And I eat very healthy, but I take a small piece of chocolate after my food. I always take a small piece of chocolate. It's like just a thing I do, because then I don't feel like, I'm just limiting my food so much and just eating all these boring things. But like, no, there's actually something fun in there too. And I like chocolate. I really do. So then I treat myself for that. But I don't need to eat all of the chocolate, the whole chocolate cake. I can eat like a small piece. And in that sense, chocolate is good for me because it makes me feel good. I enjoy the taste of it. I like just the flavor of chocolate. And there's a bit of an up feeling from eating chocolate. But chocolate is also really bad because chocolate contains sugar, it contains cacao, and if you eat too much of those things, they're not good for you. So learning to yourself make decisions and understandings, not decisions and choices of how what you consume and what you do is very important, and it is more difficult than people make it out to be, because things are both good and bad. Social media, I mean, you're on social media now, and I would say social media sucks. It's really bad. It gives you things to compare yourself to that are completely unrealistic. It makes you believe that your life is boring. It shows you lives of people who only show their good sides, and you rarely get to see their downsides or their boring parts. or they show the overreactive parts to create a reaction from you, so you will watch them. It's very unrealistic environment, but at the same time, you're watching this channel and you're watching me now, and you're coming here to meditate, and I would like to think that that's something positive that would help you enjoy life more and be a better person, where you can just enjoy your life experience. So there's good stuff there also. And we don't like to think of it this way. We want it to be very clear. Good, bad, easy, hard. All of these polarities that we like to do. Does anyone have anything that they've thought about lately, or that you want to bring up? Otherwise, I'm feeling a little bit, like I said, woo after the osteopath, and I've also slept quite little lately, so I'm very tired. I just wanted to bring that up because, I see so many people who, as I said, I've been watching all these cults and stuff, and I see many people who go into those kind of things, and they go either all in on spirituality and they go completely nuts, or they go all in on just skipping all of that and doing nothing. Like, I don't want anything to do with any kind of spirituality or any kind of personal development or developing myself or looking inwards, and just do like materialism and all the other stuff is bad. And it doesn't have to be that way. If no one has anything else I want to bring up, I think I'll start the meditation. Cool. So I was going to do something else, but I'm just so tired and worn today that we'll just do what do you call it? Box breathing today. I said we were going to try something new, but we'll do box breathing one more day. Nicole is saying the Buddha was big on the middle. Exactly. There's a lot of stuff. Buddhism is good and bad. There's a lot of stuff in Buddhism that just makes no sense at all, and that really goes against what you would need to do to get rid of the sense of self. But there's so much good stuff in there as well. Like, it has both things, and one of the things I really like, I think you need to look for the big pictures to understand what really was in there in the beginning. And when it goes into really detailed teachings, understand that those teachings have not been written down until several hundred years after the Buddha was alive, and we simply don't know what is told, but we can maybe see big trends, and one big trend is the middle way, which means that we don't take the extremes. At the time of the Buddha, it was common practice for ascetics to do strange things, like they would stare into the sun until they went blind, because then they believed they could see the divine light or something like that. And they did all kinds of weird things. They would fast so long that they almost died, and to see some, again, divine light or something. We can take the middle way, the middle path. We don't need to do extremes. And it's the same with when you take care of your health. Like, you don't need to eat vegetables, raw vegetables, all day long, and organic food all the time. You can have a little treat. You can do other things as well. Just do what works for you, kind of, and what's possible for you, because it costs money to do that as well. It's much cheaper to go out and buy pre-made like food dishes like that. And of course, with your meditation as well, you don't need to sit and meditate 15 hours per day or 10 hours per day. It's okay to just do whatever you have time to do. Says the guy who spent 6 years just living in meditation centers. You can do it for periods of time if it's possible. Nice. So the box breathing is a way of calming yourself down, or really coming into this experience right now, to just feel what it's like to be here, and it's really good for calming down the mind and your body if you're stressed. And it has to do with how the body reacts, the parasympathetic nervous system reacts to breathing patterns. So the way that we do it is we breathe in, counting to 4, we hold our breath, counting to 4, we breathe out, counting to 4, we hold our breath, counting to 4, and then we breathe in again for 4. So you go in a square box like that. It's sometimes referred to as tactical breath, because it's practiced by military and police officers, firefighters, when they're in really stressful situations. They will do that exercise to make them calm and to stay present in that situation. So we're going to do that. We'll do it for, I think the timer is set for 7 minutes, if I remember correctly. Yes, 7 minutes. And then after that, we'll sit for another 13. Nicole, it's a good lesson for happiness, the middle way. It is, absolutely. And also a good lesson for, like, a good life. I mean, seriously, if you think you don't need any money, like you don't want any money at all, that's going to make life quite difficult. But if you think you need $1 trillion to be happy, I mean, just look at the evidence. That doesn't really seem to make you happy. That doesn't mean you couldn't be happy having all that money, but I don't see why anyone would really need to make that much money. I mean, over like a certain amount, say there's a limit of $100 million. No one really needs more than $100 million. What are you going to do with that money? The idea of having your own yacht for like $50 million, like it's just like no one needs that. It's just ridiculous in many ways. And then that wealth could be shared with the rest of the, yeah, that's a whole other discussion. Middle path, good choice. So I'll do the, I'll say out aloud what the sound is doing, because you'll hear a sound breathing in, breathing out, and I'll just translate. I will say it out what's happening, and then you can follow along, and then it stops, and then you just sit for another 13 minutes. So we'll do it that way. Enjoy the sitting. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for a nice sitting. We were not many today, but I really enjoyed it, and it's nice to feel that there's other people out there when you're sitting. There's a nice feeling of sitting with someone else. I hope you'll have a really nice weekend, and that your practice will go well this weekend, and I will see you again on Monday. Hopefully we all feel a little bit better on Monday. So well, actually I don't know about you guys, but I just need to sleep, so hopefully we'll have slept for Monday. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you then.